That's the idea. Excellent. We're seeing people in the class because I've got the self view today finally back over here. So I can see straight now what that camera is seeing as I look forwards. And that's fortunately. Oh, then finally, we need to get this set up. Okay, so we have here, okay, we don't have our extended. So hold on. Let me just, there's always something. Let me get the tech dealt with first, okay? And then we're going to come and begin the class. But right now, to keep it really simple, if we already are okay there, that must mean, and I like to reverse. So let's come back and do this. Okay, so he's got laptop HDMI would go over here. Good. And then over there was not extended, it's rack PC. So that's rack PC, right? Okay, no, I don't want rack PC. I want the notes over there, right? And he had, and I think the notes would be pod one. Yeah, good. Okay, so it's still the same system. Okay, so we've got the notes there. I've got the rack PC up. Now, if this is what I think it is, then what we need to do is I'm going to do a little stick handle here. Okay, I'm going to do a little stick handle. Come on in, everybody. I want to just make sure exit full screen. Yeah. Okay, so what happens there? Yeah, good. Okay, so then I think what I'm going to do is my stick handle is going to be that I'm going to bring David up here. There he is. Nice. And I'll reverse. So I'll bring this over here, which is it laptop main? No, it's HDMI. That's right. That's what he's doing. It's HDMI. Yeah. And then over here is rack PC. And what I'll do there is, because I don't have access to that, I'm going to try something else, but I don't know if that's, oh, good. So this is working. The mouse is working. So many things in this room have to work, but they're all working. So now we're going to go over to YouTube and we're almost there. But let's see what happens when we go to YouTube here. You never know what kind of turbulence, anything we're going to run into. Oh, I see. So it's taking us over there. So I've got to sign into YouTube. Right. And that would be, okay, so Appleby at gmail.com, right? That's going to get me in. And then my password is when we go to YouTube, it would be that. Let's see. Let's go. That's it. Let's see if that works. Does it work? Does it work? Yes. Yes. Good. Oh, I don't want to see Donald Trump's face. Please. Oh, no, but it's not. It's somebody playing Donald Trump. That's not Donald Trump. It looks like Saturday Night Live. Oh, and this hour is 22 minutes. That's good. I don't mind seeing a fake Donald Trump. Okay, but that's what we want to see. That's what we want to see. What's that? The Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's going. Yeah, it's going. What's that? Is it? Oh no, that's something else. I have to go in on. This is something completely different. And what I want to do is just bring up the. It's starting here. So how do I? How, What I want to do is actually keep just the thumbnail, Alex. So you see that where it says view, it immediately starts. How do I stop it from starting? Is there a way? Uh, okay, just a second. Hold on. I don't want that. Just a second. Just a second. Almost there. I want the far one. Come on in. I'm just doing a little bit of tech on my own today. This is too sensitive. This is a new mouse. Okay, so slow down. There's so many things when I come into this room that may not have been the way they were last time. And I don't do tech anymore. I'm just talking to myself, everyone, because it's so complex technically, and I used to go through this all the time. I don't have Maureen today, so I'm doing content and tech, but I'm just concentrating on tech first. Then we're going to get to content. So first, I want the afar one, but you're saying go to settings? Yes, the little cog wheel is, yeah, right. So let's try. If not, doesn't matter. I'm just gonna let it run live. It's just it tends to be dark quite a bit of the time, and but that's okay. At least it's live. I'm going to get rid of the music right now. That's kind of nice, chill out music, but I don't want that. Right. Okay. Do that. Okay, and then to do the music, I'm going to. I can't mute. Just a second. Yeah, I got to come back, and I'll mute it here. There we go. There we no. Yeah, you see, because that's what I used to have all this problem with so much clicking at the beginning. Keep going. That's it. So we're live, right? Okay, but then do this. That will give me total live. There we go. So we're going to let that go. There's the space station. There's our, and then finally, this, I got to go back here. I'm not going to make it too complicated because I'm on my own, but I do want to bring our sort of special global leader here, the picture of him, David Long. And I'll do this. Okay, good. Good. I'll get rid of that. That takes away that, but I'll bring in that. Good. That keeps, so I know them on our recording, we're okay. And then finally, what I can do is I will bring in the map, and then we're just about ready, but hold on. Oh, come on. You want to, no, it doesn't want to go any further. Okay, so that's being a little bit stubborn, and you're just annoying tech, aren't you? You won't do what the human wants. Oh, you stupid tech. Okay, so then we'll bring the map in here, and the way we can do that, and we'll leave that here. No, it won't get any smaller. So I think what we'll do is it'll be a little bit rough. It'll be a little bit rough, but at least we have everything there. Okay, David's there. The map is there. We can see the live chat. We know who's in the cosmos. We have the space station. We have the notes. We have the pods ready for teams. And we actually have people on board in person, which is great. And we can see everybody. Excellent. So for those of you here, could you just make sure we can see? Could someone just sit in here so we can fill that up? Would you be able to sit there? Great. And maybe Aaron, could you just pull your table in to be behind? Hi. Oh, Afoma, how you doing? Are you okay to do scribe work today? You sure? Then please go ahead and take this because we've got quite a big content class today, and you're going to be doing some good. Excellent, everybody. We really are ready to rock and roll. And let's just see in terms of the camera. I might be able to do this myself. Afoma's going over to the notes. So we see her there. Okay, for those of you, yeah, we'll see her online like that. And just so everybody knows, there's Afoma. She will be seen, but I'm going to get rid of the self view because we don't need it. And that gives us the map. bring us back. Great, Afoma. So if you want to see today, Afoma, that's the view of what the cameras are seeing, okay? So you know, okay? Excellent. Tanisha, we're still good? You can hear me clearly and see everybody?
Yeah,
Yes?
I can.
Yep.
Oh, I know why. I know. It's the final thing I've got to do. I've got to hit this. I've got to hit that. Okay, good. Tanisha, everything good? Can you see and hear us?
Yeah, I can. Can you hear me?
Beautiful. Yes. Wow.
Thank you.
So we're ready for liftoff, and we have our microphones, and I'm going to give our scribe one. So we have, of course, Afoma on the notes. We have 2 to go around today. Uh, way to go, everybody. So we are ready to go. I miss Mayreen, but she's not available, so she should be back next week, hopefully. But we're okay. Probably pretty soon we'll be able to do this with just ourselves. There will be a student up here DJing, managing things, and there will always be a scribe, and there will be people here in person. So we have um, what we need for a really good class. We're ready to go. We're not starting a half an hour. Alex, you remember when we used to, I think it was like 40 minutes sometimes, I'd be messing on the tech because I didn't have Mayreen, but we're ready. So welcome everybody officially to the beginning of Global Leader for our 5th class on Wednesday, February the 5th, 2025. And I would just like to see who's on board before we get going. Today, by the way, in terms of our big topic, we do not have a guest joining us live anywhere, but we do have a person always, as in every class, who represents a global leader whom we can talk about. And he is David Long, an entrepreneur, and I'm going to tell you all about him very shortly because today's class, with him sort of as our focus global leader, is going to be about vital global leader skills. And David and others will be mentioned as examples of global leaders in the world doing interesting work and exciting work. But really, this is a class where it's going to be about us. I'm going to give a little lecture on vital skills, and we'll get some good notes into the PDF for everybody. I've been reading Foma's notes, and they've been really good and very clear. And I really liked what you wrote in your first assignment as well about that idea of caring. I think you picked up on that really well. Um, so she's really listening, and I'm looking forward to actually going over some of the other reflections and discussion posts in the review section. So there's a lot that we're going to do together today, but things will be happening, of course, up on the big board. But because I don't have Mayreen, it will be a little bit slower in that sense because I'll be going up there and changing things. But we'll take it step by step. Yes. Well, go ahead. You can, but we'll have a quick little back and forth here. Yes. What I've learned though is I don't want to do any troubleshooting with the students live, not because you can't do it, but because it can take a little bit of time, this room, and I don't want everybody waiting while that's happening. And so um, we will work on that maybe for a future class, and you could come in maybe outside of class time, and I could show you a little bit what to do. And perhaps I will bring in, if I can, Alec, because he can be somebody I may lean on technically. But thanks, and we'll follow through on that for sure. Okay. In terms of today, though, let's just see who's on board. Um, and I noticed something today when I look at the door on board. when I actually use the term on board is got double meaning, which is really good. On board, of course, means aboard a ship, but on board also means who's on the board. So I really like that. I just noticed that today. So on board, Alec, Good, Christian, Madison, Calvin, Dylan. Is it um, um, Gurjeep or Guvampreet? Gurpreet. Gurpreet. Thanks, Gurpreet. Isaiah, of course. Aaron, Afoma, Amir, Kinza, excellent. And Yuba, Yuba, Yub, Yugrat. Say because it's not spelled that way. So let me make sure I hear that clearly. Yurad. Interesting. Yurad. Well, let's take this for a moment to get a little bit global. Okay. Yurad. Uh, where are you from?
I'm from Nepal.
Huh. Wow. Okay. So shall we do a slight bit of orientation, a little bit of geography here? And would anybody like to explain by looking at the smaller map right now? And I'll bring a cursor if I can. Is this cursor visible? It is. Excellent. So where is Nepal? Alec is pointing to the map. And would you be able, Alec, to direct the cursor if I... Okay. Okay, so let's try this little bit of geography, okay, and see. So for those of you watching online, hopefully you can see the big cursor here. It's slightly enlarged, so it's moving from Antarctica northwards in the Indian Ocean, past Tanzania, Ethiopia, into Saudi Arabia. Now, should I go west or east? The problem is, yes, I can, but let's see if I can bring it back. Let's try, okay? Hold on. You're right. I'm going to go full screen on the map and see what happens. No. Okay. So I've lost, but hold on. I want to see if I can come back to when I exit, okay? Just, I'm doing a little bit of extra stuff here. Good. It will default right back. Okay, so this is nice. This is nice. So let's go back to the full screen. And I can even do this. No, I'm not going to do anything else. So here we have a cursor. So Alec has just said, go north. And we see the cursor. And it is right. Oh, Mongolia. No, there it is, Nepal. Ah, okay, so we see that Nepal is, just a second, right in the northeastern part of the greater nation, at least geographically, which is India. India, that huge, important country. So, do you feel comfortable enough to come stand here for a moment? And okay, why don't you come in? So let's take this as always a time to just stand over here for a second, okay? Excellent. So I just want to welcome, of course, one of our classmates into a moment where he's being put on the spot. So way to go. This takes a little bit of courage, okay? Could you spell your name, just your first name in English? Could you just spell it?
My name is Yuvraj Pudathoki.
So
Yuvraj.
Y?
Yubaraj.
Okay. Could we start some notes here? And just because this helps us understand a little bit more about each other. Okay. So it's why, what should Afoma write? Y-U-B-A
RJ.
R-Z. You brought, and then
R-A and J. Not Z.
so we have the Nepalese telling the African, and we've got the Western Jew standing here. So, and now we've got the young, smart Muslim in the back there. Now we've got a global class going. And of course, we have our great tech historian, project manager, smart guy in his pinkish hoodie. So we've got diversity going. Huh. Didn't take very long, did it? Oh, then we have a Sikh with the term. So we could add more to this mix, couldn't we? Aaron and Brandon and, well, Isaiah. So hold on a second, Kenzo, okay? I just want to make sure. And even processed through a FOMA, she wasn't even asked to do this. She wrote down diversity as the title. I couldn't even do better than that. I wasn't even. So that means it's being thought through by the smart classmate. Okay, well, before it's you bras. Well, we already have hands going. So Kenza, grab.
Yes.
Oh, oh, he said Z, but it's actually J. Ubraj. Now, is it pronounced Z, J, like Ubraj? Okay, good. Well, Ubraj, just take a couple of minutes to answer the classic global class question. This is the global leader class. We're having a global class, which I do for other topics, humanities, destiny, short history of the world. And so this is a classic question. Why are you here at Durham College in this part of the world and not back there in Nepal? I mean, isn't this supposed to be a world now where we're supposed to be building walls back again, according to some of the changes that seem to be happening in many countries now, which is let's close the borders, not open them. We're even doing that here now too, by the way. So just wondering, why do you come all the way over here? And why wouldn't you stay in Nepal, a beautiful place of Mount Everest and other? Could you explain, please?
Actually, our country is not well developed, so education system is there is no so much perfect. So they focus on just theoretical knowledge.
On theoretical knowledge. Could you just hold it a little closer? Yeah,
So-
theoretical knowledge.
So I think in Canada maybe they prefer practical knowledge. So I gain different knowledge.
Yes, yes.
So I can meet over the different diversity of people. So I can be more perfect. So
Very good. What program are you in?
actually, I'm in interactive media design.
Interactive media design. Could we just write interactive media design? And so, if we were to write down a word or two for a FOMA on why you've come all the way from Nepal, which is many thousands of kilometers, to Durham College, what would that be in a couple of words? Like why? What would you say you're here for?
Well, I thought that the education of Canada is really good. So
Huh,
I searched in different universities and colleges here in Canada,
huh.
and I thought Durham was one of the best colleges. So I applied here.
Oh, I like hearing that. I don't know if it's true or not, but I'll say it's true for now. So essentially, better education. Okay, well, thank you. And I'm going to try and make that a reality and say that we will try and have better education in this space. I promise you that. I will work hard. Thank you for anybody want to ask you, Raj, a question about his background a little bit? And Alec, let's give him a microphone. Where's yep. Can we pass Alec a microphone and then we'll be done in a moment. Yeah, go ahead.
Hello? Okay. Would you be able to go more in depth on theoretical knowledge?
Huh.
You said the way that they teach in Nepal is more theoretical, where in Canada is more practical. Can you explain theoretical knowledge a bit more?
So I think in Nepal, they teach for just a marks, not for knowledge. So it is hard me for explain you. So
Theoretical knowledge. So why don't we say we'll take that up a little bit later, okay, Alec? The idea of theoretical versus practical knowledge and what makes education better. But could we? It's Yubraj, right? Can we give Yubraj a hand for just? Thank you, Yubraj. Okay, excellent. And it's not easy what he just did, and I know from some experience that for students coming from elsewhere in the world where maybe the education system is a little more traditional, students will write this in their reflections. I learned that they often are never asked in their classes, what do you think? Just to give you one small example of this, and then we're going to move on. I had to drop my wife off this morning at Seneca College, where she is a coordinator of the sustainability programs. And she's from Hong Kong. And we were talking a little bit on the way. And she was just reminding me a little bit of how she was educated in Hong Kong. We were we were talking a little bit about history, and I don't know how we got onto this. And then she said, "You know how I learned history in Hong Kong? Remember, Lon, I've told you a few times is the teacher would come in to the class. This is going back to the 1970s, so late 70s. Things have changed a little bit, but it's still traditional. And all the students would be sitting obediently at their desks, and the teacher comes up to the blackboard and just starts writing things on the blackboard. And everybody in the class, because that's a teacher who has automatic authority and is supposed to be trusted, everybody just starts writing and starts writing. And essentially, the education system was built on memorization, not on understanding. And it is a fact we've learned from research that if you learn to remember, you you often forget. But if you if you understand, you will remember. So understanding is more complex than just um, remembering things. You have to engage the person's brain, and they have to be present in the class. So maybe what we are doing here is a little different, and at least I hope that we can do something that is a lot more engaged and interactive. But definitely, I don't want you to be obedient. That is a dangerous place to be as a human being, especially at your age, or even as a teenager. You have to be able to think for yourself, and I have to be able to help you do that. That doesn't mean that you agree with me, but the one thing I would say, and the one thing that students from outside of here sometimes are learning, because I see this in the reflections, they feel uncomfortable challenging their educator. And that's something new, but I encourage that. I really do encourage that. Okay, so. All right, well, let's see who's in the cosmos. We have Tanisha, great, Sean, Liam. Hi, Liam, how are you today?
Good.
Great, you're right there.
It's
Excellent. So everybody's good and clear. So then I can start getting into some of the content very shortly. But before I do that, does anybody have any questions at all? Is there anything on your mind about the class, about the work ahead? You have a second reflection coming Tuesday, February the 18th is the second reflection. You will have received marks already for things. I'll go to Gurpreet. Gurpreet, that's right. Because I've had some others with a different name. Gurpreet, go ahead, please.
I have a question related to the reflection.
Yes.
Uh, in the reflection, we can add the examples outside the course materials, like the like in the second reflection, we have to written about the quality of the global leader. So in,
Two important qualities.
yeah,
And we're going to talk about that today, some of the critical qualities of a good global leader. So today's class is quite important for that. But you will have to reflect back on the other classes we've had, Michael Cameron, Romeo Dallaire, and Shama, and others, to think about this idea of what you think are two essential qualities of a global leader today. Just two qualities, okay?
in the qualities, we have to like we write an example that is not in the course. We can write the example from the outside world, like
Absolutely.
words.
As long as you are applying the knowledge you've learned in this class. Here's what I don't want you to do. I'm not suggesting you're going to do this. This is by way of me giving feedback, reviewing. So I'm going to do the review a little bit right now, just quickly, and then we'll move on, because I wanted to do a review with you, but let me do it this way. Please do not do this. The night of February the 18th comes up, and you realize you have a reflection due for global leader at 11:59 p.m. You suddenly realize. And it's 11:30 p.m. And you have 29 minutes to get the assignment done. This is what you don't want to do. You call for a pizza, meaning you go to ChatGPT and you say this: at 11:59 p.m., I have to deliver this reflection to the global leader class, and the reflection should be this: in 425 to 450 words, please deliver me a informal, scholarly, rigorously thought through reflection in which I reflect in first person singular, meaning I. So I hear I, on two critical skills of a global leader. And you put that in the prompt. In 30 seconds, you've ordered the pizza. And then in 2 seconds, the pizza comes back. Pizza comes back. Oh, 425. Oh, actually, it's 430 even. But I'm just going to go in there and tweak a few words, just a few words. And I'm going to send that off to Global Leader at 11:58 p.m. And I'm going to get 10 out of 10. Do not do that. Does that make sense? Exactly. That's why I need to explain, okay? I need to stop for a moment and say this again and again and again. There are a lot of students in this class who cannot write English very well and don't understand English completely and can't speak it. That's a fact. But we need to be together as a class. Even for students who aren't like that and don't come from somewhere else, there are many students who've grown up in Oshawa, Whitby, Pickering, who have, for one reason or another, developed some issues around writing and education and comprehension. So I want to just reiterate that for those students who are international, more than the students who are local, they are paying tuition far ahead, far more than what the local students are. And if we did not have the international students here, we probably wouldn't have a college today. That's the way the world works. It's the way our economy works. So we thrive on international students. At the same time, you as a global leader, wherever you are going in the world today, will have to work with people in your teams, wherever you are, who may not speak the language that you do, who may not understand what you're saying. So you have to be able to communicate with them. I'm a guinea pig right now. You're watching me deal with something you're going to have to deal with as a global leader, which is I've just had a student say he didn't understand what I just said. You're going to have that happen in your teams all the time. So what should I do? Well, first, I respect him. I respect him as an equal, as a classmate, but at the same time, I recognize that there's something he needs to understand, and I need to help him understand it. Okay? Do you follow?
Yeah, I understand.
Okay. So in the story that I just told you about the pizza, what do you think that meant? This is very important for all of you, not just students here who understand it completely. He may never have heard me use the term pizza before to connect it with artificial intelligence and using AI to deliver things for you quickly. So we have to make sure that we understand each other. And right now, I'm treating him as he's an equal. We're together in this. I'm not the big authority professor who's getting angry at the students for not understanding. I would never do that. So let me make sure. What did the pizza mean?
Pizza like means in the station. You say that do not use artificial intelligence for reflection.
Do not use.
Artificial intelligence.
Yes,
like
yes.
ChatGPT and the other AI tools like DeepSeek and other.
DeepSeek or Red Note, as Alec mentioned last week. And good, so you are understanding. You did understand what I said, okay?
I understand.
And why would I say that about, particularly when you're reflecting on something? Do not default to the pizza delivery to do that. Why would I say that?
You say because we have to focus on the lectures, like, and we have to understand the examples, and this class is mainly because of the global leader.
Yes.
We can understand the different kind of the qualities through different, like every year there are the different person that is questioning and the answer of this,
Yes.
and the videos like I do not remember the name.
Okay. Let me help you, okay? Just for the sake of, there's one thing you're missing. It's really, really important. A leader has to think for himself. And if the guy who makes the pizza is the one who knows how to make the beautiful pizza and knows exactly how to put the tomato sauce in it means you'll never be able to make a good pizza. You'll always be relying on the pizza guy. This is not good for humanity. Do you sort of understand the critical thinking? You need to be able to think things through yourself. And the reason I harp on this and harp on it and go on and on and on about this is that you are living at the time, we're all living at the time where artificial machine intelligence is surpassing human intelligence. Machines are learning on their own. You have to deal with this more and more in your lives, is to what extent ethically will you resort to a machine doing the work for you? Brandon would not be here without technology. Thankfully, we have that, and we've got his brain, and we have his energy and his motivation and everything. Stephen Hawking would never have been with us and given us what he did as a physicist. So tech can be amazing, can augment the human. But if we rely on it for everything, forget about humanity, folks. We're going to be in a different world. And I don't think you want to be part of that cold machine world. At least I don't. So that's why I keep belaboring this. I want to make sure we know how to think as human beings. Okay, enough. Does anyone want to say anything about that, or we'll move on, okay? Because critical things. Alec, go ahead.
Sorry, I just wanted to point. RedNote is not an AI program.
What's that?
You said RedNote was an AI
Red
pro.
Note's
It's,
not AI? Okay.
no, it's a social media platform.
App. It's a social media app. Okay. Thanks.
Just wanted to clarify.
Please correct me. The world's so complex. There's a lot I don't know. Afoma, please go ahead.
I had a question regarding the reflections.
Yes.
We addressed some qualities of a global leader in our first reflection.
Yes.
May we bring that up again in the second reflection? Or
Yes, you can. But in more depth.
more
Now, in more depth, for sure. But please don't start cutting and pasting from previous reflections, okay? but yes, if for example, you want to address caring as a critical attribute or skill, you could take that as one of your two qualities in your second reflection and explain more about why caring is so important as for an effective global leader, why you need to care, and how caring often is the critical difference between someone who leads and someone who doesn't. It's the person who's just ready to go to do more, to take on more responsibility. And as I'm going to explain in my lecture momentarily, I'm going to give you a term that is really effective for leadership. It's called making it happen. And I'm going to tell you about making it happen. But I'll get to that, okay? Any other questions before I launch in? I want to get you going on your activity. It's Hamil, right? Yeah, Amir. Yeah, Amir. Okay, go ahead, Amir.
The thing
Go back to the pizza. Go back to the pizza.
because it's interesting, like how you deliver it. Like it's a smart thing. Like the reflection that you ask for, it's the pizza, and ordering it like we are ordering the pizza to you.
You're delivering the
not
pizza to me.
Yeah,
That's right.
we are deliver this to you. So if we give you like the already like pizza, it will be like a usual one, like an old one. But if we make it by ourselves, that mean like we are delivering you our idea, the thing that you want us to know. That's what should like we be like. Uh, it's more than like those things, because it's what the leader can do. Like he can do the thing by himself, like not asking someone to do it to to do it for him.
And a leader wants to be unique. A leader wants to be bringing something new. So I love the fact that you're understanding this, because I can explain this a little bit more. And actually, we'll start the lecture, but we'll continue the conversation, okay? I'm always ready to move with the class and give you the content
But
that I
who's
need.
that handsome guy in the board?
What's that?
Who's that handsome guy in the board?
He's a 56-year-old entrepreneur named David Long, who is revolutionizing the food recycling industry in the world. Food waste is a big problem for humanity. And he has taken over as the CEO of the Vancouver Food Bank. And he's doing something with old food and food banks that is very new in how you go about it. And he's transforming this industry. And so he's an example of a global leader I want to tell you about. But I'm going to weave that into my lecture when I talk about vital skills. going to be referring to David some more. But let's move on then. There are some things that I would like to do, but I'm watching time, and I want to make sure you have a chance to get into your teams in 15 minutes or so. So I'm going to start with the lecture, but please feel free if you have any questions. I can take questions during the lecture. But I'm going to call the lecture Making It Happen. Now, I would like to give you about 6 or 7 critical skills or attributes or qualities, if you will, of a good global leader today. And these are things that I think you're going to understand, that you probably already have to some extent. But a student had asked in his first reflection, he said very clearly, and I thought it was really well done. He said that he would really like to know more specifically about what exactly does a global leader possess in terms of skills that makes him or her successful. It's not entirely accurate to say that everybody is a leader, as he said in his reflection. You need to learn certain things before you can really say that you have those qualities. I disagree with that student. I forget who the student is. I wouldn't use his name anyways because I want to make sure I'm not using his name without his permission. But I do believe that all of you have the potential, and probably more than that, you're already doing things that demonstrate global leadership. But there are skills that perhaps you may not be fully aware of, and I'm going to go through them with you. And we're going to put a little checklist together with AFOMA. And then we're going to go to the pods, and we're going to do an activity together. And I have an idea for an activity that's a little bit new. So I'm going to try something out with all of you. But essentially, I will tell you what the activity is now, because it relates very much to what we're about to do. David Long is a guest that I would love to have in our class. I would like to bring him in from Vancouver to tell you how he has developed the vision to essentially transform the food waste world from a place where, when we think of a food bank, we often think of a kind of maybe church basement or some kind of place where you go and there's food that people have just grabbed from their shelves at home, and cans of food, processed food, and they brought it to this place, and it's kind of grungy, the food bank, but at least it has food. But it's all this processed food that people don't really want, but out of the goodness of their heart, they've brought to this location, wherever it is. And people who need the food come there and they grab their can of this and their package of that. And they may have food, but it's not very healthy. David Long was a chef. He was originally from Ireland, and he started to travel around the world, and he's now landed in Vancouver, where he is really doing some of his most important work as the CEO of a kind of revived and transformed Vancouver Food Bank. He has made it his mission to turn the food waste world into something like sort of Costco, in the sense that not just Costco, but even like a Sobeys. You go in and you can get a lot of fresh food. In fact, it's his mission to make about 70% of the food that you go to the food bank for to be fresh. And he's already exceeding that. He's now at 84%. He's putting fresh food out there. And his view is really interesting. When I start to learn more about him and how he's going about this, is he said, and this is going to sort of blow your mind a little bit, but he's proving this. There is way too much food in the world, more than everybody needs. In fact, we've got lots of food for all of humanity. The problem is not lack of food, it's lack of distribution. It's lack of refrigeration, proper refrigeration of the food. So what he's determined is he is trying to now change the way the supply lines work in the world so that we can ensure that the fresh food, the carrots and tomatoes and other things that are fresh, not only can move faster to places where they're needed, but even more than that, when they have to be transported for longer distances, they will be refrigerated in something that will keep them fresh. So his view is the problem is not lack of food. The problem is us, human beings, who are not distributing the excess food properly and storing it properly. And so the result is there's all this fresh food in the world that's going to waste. And he's making sure that it doesn't. And he's putting it in a nice place where you go. It's not the basement of a church, you know, where it's kind of grungy, but you walk in and it's like a supermarket. He makes the analogy to Costco, and that's where he's sitting there in front of one of his distribution centers to say that we can have this kind of professional operation that gets things onto the shelves freshly in the same way that Costco and Walmart get stuff onto their shelves. But the food bank, the Vancouver Food Bank, is nicer to walk into than a Costco, because a Costco and a Walmart and a big, you know, American store can be a bit of a depressing experience when you walk in sometimes, because you can't get out of there. You know, it's designed. You walk in, you're supposed to buy things, and there's a lot of processed stuff in these places, tons of processed things. But his view is that you can use that kind of distribution system, develop the refrigeration systems that he's working on, and ensure that all of that excess food that humanity is producing will feed people. And they won't get fat or they won't get unhealthy. Being overweight is okay. I'm gaining weight and not a problem. But, you know, you need fresh vegetables. You need fresh fruits. You need it for your mental health, not just for your weight. So how did he do this? Like, what is he bringing to this enterprise, the Greater Vancouver Food Bank, that has allowed him to succeed where others haven't, even though they, the ones who have failed, know what he does? How come he's getting the attention and they're not? Well, there's certain things he understands about global leadership that I want to help you to kind of process. And I want you to be able to think about the activity, because I'm going to ask you as a team to begin composing a letter that we're going to write to him as a class. And all of us together are going to invite him as a guest. And let's see if he responds. So we're going to be doing something together that I think is a very effective thing for all of you to learn, which is how to write a letter to somebody that you want to have join your team. How do you write to somebody who you want to join your board of advisors? Let's say you're setting up a board of advisors. You got to be able to bring them in. You got to communicate with them and get them on your team. We want David on our team here, and we need to write him a letter today. Okay, so that's coming in a moment. Does that make sense? Okay, so first, we have a message in the Cosmos. Hold on, let's see. I'll come over there and scroll. Might as well be better have food in a Costco mart like place? Sean, hold that thought, okay? And then we'll come back to that. I just want to make sure I get these key points down, and then you're going to have a chance to work together with putting the letters together. Okay. The first thing, we're going to do a little checklist with FOMA. And I'm going to give you, for now, I'll do 5 critical skills. And I'm going to do one that I wasn't planning, but it's actually, no, it will fit within what I was going to do. The first thing you've got to have is vision. Could you write that down, please? A form of vision. Let me explain, okay, before you have any questions. I want to be able to do this in 10 minutes quickly. So I'll go through this. We were just talking about pizzas. And Amir said something very good. He said that the pizza that you're going to deliver to me has to be done by Amir, because it's only by Amir that I will get something original. If Amir goes to the pizza store, the pizza shop, he's going to get the conventional pizza. But if you want to lead, you got to do something new. And to be able to do something new, it has to come from you, something original, from your imagination. You need to have vision. You need to be able to think of something that you feel not necessarily the world needs or your community needs, but that you are passionate, that you want to do. That vision is going to drive everything in whatever you do. David Long had a vision. He's executing that vision. So vision, originality, imagination. And I will say one final thing to help you to understand why originality is so important. I'm sure you have all had the experience of having a choice. If you were to buy cheese, let's say, maybe you don't eat cheese, but you will still understand. You have the Kraft, packaged plastic cheese right there. And then you have a kind of a special cheese that's made in, I don't know, Curtis or Pickering or Whitby, or it's only made in that place and nowhere else. This special cheese. But you have this other cheese, and you kind of know what it tastes like. You could go to McDonald's and get your processed food. You could go to your processed cheese and have that, or you can go to something more locally produced, something more original. Which do you think is going to taste better? The processed thing, the processed pizza, or the pizza that comes from some place that has a very special way of doing it, something very local that is unique? Or as W.H. Auden, one of our great poets of the 20th century, said, local like some valley cheese, but prized elsewhere. Very local, but prized all around the world. Which is going to taste better? The local thing that everybody wants, or the processed thing that's cheaper to buy, but how does it taste? Isaiah, did you want to try and answer that? What would be better as a taste? The local thing that's original, or the processed thing that's cheaper but is being manufactured everywhere? What might taste better?
Probably the local cheese.
Okay. You are, as a leader, making the local cheese. Is this making sense? You're making this special cheese, and it's going to be so good. It's going to come out of something very local here, happening in you, wherever you are, but it's going to be so good, everybody's going to want it. Making sense? That's vision. That's imagination. That's originality. That you're thinking about something really new and it's coming from you. It's coming from your imagination. That's vision. Second thing, motivation. When you begin to create a project like David Long, something new, you are going to run into so many obstacles. A lot of people are going to tell you, don't do it. They're going to tell you things that will get in your way, but they will also teach you as well. Where are you going to get the endurance, the motivation to keep going? You, as the leader, are the only one who is going to be relied on for the energy to drive things through for a long time. If you want something quick and easy, you need to stay in this class for a long time to learn that real leadership means being motivated for the long haul. The hard, long slog of ups and downs and people telling you this and the difficulties. So you have to ask yourself, what's your purpose in doing this? If you know what your purpose is and you're really committed to that, you will find your motivation every single day, every moment. You will be able to do a gut check when things are getting really difficult, and you'll be able to say, this is why I'm doing it. This is my purpose. In David Long's case, he really believes that he has found a way to solve a difficult problem, not just for his local community, but for humanity as a whole. This raises the question of how we define what a global leader is. And I want to just give you a couple of points before I move on. When we talk about global leaders, we often talk about people who are leading their countries. That's one type of global leader, for sure, a person who leads his or her country. We're not talking about that right now. We're talking about people who serve their communities. A leader is somebody who wants to serve their community, their local community first. Being a global leader does not mean that you're solving the world's problems. That's too overwhelming. You don't just sit back and go, I want to solve climate change. I want to solve the ethical issues around artificial intelligence. I want to solve the problems around mental health and anxiety and stress. That's too big. You start small. This is the local cheese part. You're looking in your community and you're trying to figure out where can I make a difference here? And you start to get involved in your community and your ideas start to grow. And before long, you are thinking of something that needs to be done in your community. But then that leads you to the rest of the world, because in order for you to do something in your community, you need to know what's happening in the rest of the world, because it's all connected today. So we talk about two things at the moment. We talk about vision, we talk about motivation, which leads us to purpose. We talk about the third thing, organization. Discipline. Being able to do a budget. Being able to put together a timetable, a schedule. You are the person, like David, who's the chief executive officer. He's leading this project. So he not only has the vision for what he's trying to bring about, he not only has the purpose, but he also spends a lot of time in his office, at his computer, on his phone, wherever he may be, checking that the team is meeting their deadlines, that the team is actually executing a schedule. There are deliverables. We call those things you have to deliver when you are running a project. Deliverables. Can you write that word down? Deliverables. So if you are a disorganized person, if you are a person who sets the alarm for 7 in the morning, and then when the alarm goes off, you just let it go until it's gone, and then it starts again at 7:30, and you wait for somebody to text you on, so you hear a chime going, and you got to get up now. What's your name again? Christian. Got to get up. Got to get up now, Christian. You know, Amir. You've got things to do. You know, you have to be disciplined. You've got to be able to get up when the alarm goes off. You've got to be able to tell people who are working with you, you have something to deliver today. If you don't deliver that, then we can't get something done. This is being organized, being able to work to a schedule, being able to work to a timetable, having the self-discipline. These are things that you have to develop. And if you feel you don't have those qualities, well, you better learn them. You better wake up. If you can't develop that kind of discipline, I guarantee you somebody else will step into those shoes and lead for you. And you will become not quite a leader, but more of a follower. I think we have a few things. There's more I could give you, but I want to stop, and I'll let us start the activity shortly, and then I can deliver more of the points as we continue. And perhaps I'll even extend this into next week. But these are critical, vital skills that you need to have. And I will just conclude with one small story to just drive this home. This is not complete. This is an introduction to critical skills. But here's a wonderful story that will drive it home for you. Once upon a time, I lived near University of Toronto on a place called Beverly Street. It's the extension of St. George in Toronto that goes down to Queen Street. And I was living in a house with other students that we shared, and there was a Subway sandwich shop near where we lived. And often I would, in the afternoons, in a summer day, I would go to the Subway shop and order a nice big foot-long BMT. That's when I was eating too much and was even smoking, pack a day of Rothmans, and, you know, wasting my time a little bit. But I was still determined. Each day I would walk across the street with my sandwich, and I'd go sit on a bench on College Street and have the sandwich. And somebody had written on the back of the bench 3 words. I've never forgotten these words. To me, they contain so much meaning that I've repeated this story to my students as often as I could, called the bench story. And I'll give the short version right now. On the back of this bench, someone had written out, and they had circled in numbers 1, 2, and 3. Just these words. 1, 2, and 3. The first word, imagination. The second word, courage. The third word, perseverance. Imagination, courage, and perseverance. If you think about those words and really reflect on them in terms of leadership, in terms of getting things done, you will see there's an enormous amount of truth. At least I have come to see that. And I confess that I'm not bringing you a textbook, which I could, on global leadership that could tell you all sorts of things abstractly. I'm giving you some philosophy from a bench on a street in a big city. That was a good 20 years ago, at least. I've never forgotten those words. They resonate more and more as I think about what we all need to lead. Imagination, just vision, the courage. You're not afraid. There's a bit of motivation in that. And then the perseverance part, which is you just are like a dog with a bone. Dog with a bone. You won't give up. If you look at why Donald Trump is so successful, even though he is a criminal in many more ways than we realize. We could get into that. We won't. He understands perseverance. Somebody shoots him, tries to, in the head. A week later, fight, fight, fight. This is the billboard that goes up in all the Republican states. Fight. You can shoot me. You can try to kill me. You can, tear me down. That's all he has. He doesn't have anything more than that, unfortunately. But he has perseverance. Huge amounts. It's scary how much he has. But don't get that confused. He doesn't have vision. He doesn't have a lot of courage either. He's very conventional, but he has perseverance. He just keeps going. So imagination, courage, perseverance, really critical. So here's what I'd like to do, okay? No questions. Let's get this going, okay? Could you all wait for a moment? I'll put you into threes, I guess. We'll try this, and that is we'll leave a FOMA over there, and we'll build a team around a FOMA. Calvin and Madison, could you go and stand with the FOMA, and you'll be with her, okay? And let's see if we can get the other pods working. We'll see. Let's do a group of 4 over here, okay? Could you go over to that pod there with Aaron? And Aaron will anchor that team over there. And then for the third team, okay, stay as long as you can, okay? 4 of you here, could you go over to the third one here? And then we'll do 4 over on this one. Let's see if the pods are working, okay? We don't know yet. And Brandon, you can join them there if you want, okay? All right, so let's see. Do you want and join them over there? And for those of you online, I'll join you in a second. But let's see what's working. I'm not with full tech support today, so I'll come around and I'm going to try and help. I'll do this, okay? And I have a backup plan first, but let's see. This should come on. Let's see, and then we'll do this. Okay, we'll get the roll browser. And so I'm going to take a moment here, and we'll bring this up, and we'll just write this off, okay? You can do that, and that's going to be yours. All right? Excellent, okay? Good. So, and then if you want to know, great. And then you go to roll browser, and then you'll see up comes, and then you can just bring one of these in and rub it off, okay? And I'll get you your pen. I'll get the pen. So you can just leave. Yeah, you see, you can do that. And then I think there's just 2 slides here. So yes, I've already saved these. So yeah, so it's okay. And I'm going to get you your pen in a moment, okay? Excellent. Okay, and Alec, I think Alec's on it. Nice, good. So you have pen. Here you go, Isaiah, Alec. Excellent. Good. Okay, way to go. So, and I'm going to get all the terrific. So I'm able to do this. So we've got our teams. We've got our teams. And I'll play with the cameras in a moment. Excellent, everybody. So second thing now is, let's do this. Dear David. Start a slide called Dear David. Dear David. And I'd like all of you online in the Cosmos to do the same. So please try and stay with me on this. What we're doing is together, we're writing the rough draft of a letter in which we want to invite the CEO of the Greater Vancouver Food Bank, David Long, to be a live guest in our class to give us straight from him how he's done this and what his vision is and how he can teach us about global leadership. So before you do this is rough. Writing is a process. So this is going to go through several drafts. Go ahead and just start together. You can put notes down. You can write full sentences if you want. But imagine that you are now writing a letter to this gentleman to bring him here. And even more than that, you could even imagine it, just for your own sake, that the global classroom is your new project. And you want him to join our team. You will be doing this all the time when you are leading something. You will be writing to people that you want to join your team. So go for it, okay? Everybody clear? And I'll bring microphones to any of you if you want to speak to everybody in the Cosmos. Alec, you good? Okay. I'm going to put all of what you're writing up here so we can all see it, okay? But let's see what you come up with in the next 10 minutes. It's just the beginning. You can even put notes down. Doesn't have to be full sentences. Okay. Great. Yep, sure. Okay, so for those of you in the Cosmos, Sean, Tanisha, Liam, and I think is it Jay or Jamin? I would like all of you to write the rough draft or just the sketched out draft of a letter to David Long, inviting him to become part of our global class. In other words, we want him to come as a guest. Please put that into the live chat in the next 15 minutes. And it's very rough. This is just an introduction, okay? This letter is going to go through drafts, like any good writing. So I'm looking at the Cosmos right now. Liam, does this make sense?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, so go for it. Put it in the live chat. You're a good writer. I've seen this, so you might even be able to bang something out in 15 minutes.
Yeah, I'm actually just kind of just tossing stuff on a dock right now, just trying to work stuff out.
Okay, whatever you need to do, guys.
Then can you like put in the link in the chat?
Put in the what, Sean?
Put in the link to the document in the chat. If it's a Google Docs, then you can basically do that.
We will do that later.
Can edit.
We'll do that later. Right now, I want you to be doing this on your own. Okay? Just you on your own.
We're doing like, I thought all of us online would be doing it as a group.
That's going to come later.
I
First,
also like
first,
that.
I want to give you a
Okay.
chance, okay, to do this on your own. Is if
Okay.
you, Sean, are the leader of your own initiative and you are writing on your own. This is the important part, that you're learning how to write a letter. I will help you with. Later, I will take what all of you have written and we will combine it into a Google Doc and we can work with that. All right?
So do we have to make like Word documents of our own or just post our
Put it in the live
comments
chat. Put it in the live chat. Just put what,
Okay.
yeah, this is just the beginning. So you only have 10 or 10 minutes. So you could even just put a few notes, but if you feel inspired, immediately put into the live chat now, Tanisha, Dear David, and then write the letter in 3 paragraphs. But I'm asking you to do a lot, Tanisha, in 10 minutes. So you can do as much as you can in the next 10 minutes. Does that make sense, Tanisha?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, and you're going to see up on the board here, I'm going to show you what's happening with everybody else here. And I'm going to bring them. Let me see if I can get the full view. That's right. Team. Okay, and if you, oh, good, you figured out if you want to change the color. You know how to do that? Yeah. Okay, good. Look at this. Foma's going. She's moving. Let's see what's happening with Alec and his group. And then I'm going to bring all of these up here. So I'm going to try the pods. So right now we have pod 1 over there. So the next thing I need to do is I'm going to try doing this. Rack PC is over here. Will this bring me pod 2? Will it give me? No. Oh, I see why. I see why. Okay. Got it. I see the tech issue there. So I'm going to come back here for now. We won't be able to see all that, and I'll go to a different view. I'm going to try the camera controls here. So then we could try ceiling left. Let's see where that goes. How are we doing there? Okay. Okay, so it's too much for the system today. Too much for the system. So I'm not going to push anything. Right now, great, we've got that going with Foma and her team. We'll go through the others momentarily. We have our map. We have the live chat going. And for everybody in the Cosmos, they're working on theirs. Way to go. So David Long. Good. Okay. Critical thing is, why do we want to have him as a guest in our class? He's going to want to know why. And he wants to know that we know something about him, that we've done our homework, we've done our research. Okay? So it's important also to remember that you need to talk about what he's doing so he knows you've done your homework about the Greater Vancouver Food Bank. Great. Yeah. This is just rough. Great. Keep it going. And in the Cosmos, we have Tanisha, Sean, Liam, and Jay, I think it is. Let me get my glasses and make sure we have everybody up on our board. That's good. I can actually give more pens out too, if anyone wants to. You can be writing. Yeah, go ahead. Okay, good. Want a second pen here? You okay, Isaiah? All right. Aaron, you good? Okay. Alec? Yep. All right. A welcoming space. Yeah. This is not, remember, just a post on LinkedIn or a message on Facebook or whatever. This is going to be a letter with some real thinking. It's not quick and dirty. Social media is quick and dirty. It's okay, and it works. I'm not saying it's bad, but, you know, quick and dirty can only take you so far in this world. Quick and dirty. Yeah. Great. All right, so let's see what's happening here. Nice. Okay, good, Sean. So you put in the Google, we'll get to that later, okay? The Google Docs. Yeah, I'll be saving this. Good, Tanisha. That's a start. We recently learned about your accomplishments as a global leader who is fighting the food waste. Yeah. And Tanisha, what's important too is that David is going to want to know that we've done our homework about the Greater Vancouver Food Bank. So, being able to explain in a paragraph, what is it about the Greater Vancouver Food Bank that they're doing specifically that makes them global leaders? That's something you definitely want to explain. So let's see. I'll bring the map. What happened to our map? Our map disappeared. Okay, no big deal. I will keep that up here for now. I'm going to make, oh, I know what I'll do is I'll make this a little bit bigger. Yeah. That is a cool thing. Well, that's where the map went. Okay. But let's try something here. Yeah. Okay. Couple more minutes, everybody. I'm just fooling around here and see if I can try something. I'm going to put him in here. Yeah. There we go. So there's our guest that we want. And for this is just for the cosmos. If you've made it this far, for the ones watching the recording, Gina Sivasuvakumar, the Thai kickboxer. It's that, I think that's from one of your. This post is terrific that you put in for discussion post 4. Yeah, she's in some detail. She's explained how gamification is being used to improve our mental health. And the person who's leading this is a Harvard-trained psychiatrist. Have you heard about him? Yeah, very interesting. I was planning to bring that up, Gina, in class today, but it's just been moving too quickly. But what I'm going to do is put this over here for now. I'm going to isolate this, and I'll try to get to that a little bit later. But first, I want to bring back our video conference. And I will do that in the end of the class. So there's Jay, and then where's David? Keeps disappearing. Stay with us, David. Oh yeah, you're there. Okay, good. So let's bring that back. And then where? Yeah, there we go. And then we'll bring him in here. Nice. So we've got a good, yeah, the board's looking good now for the end. Excellent. Okay, one more minute, and then we're going to take this up. And I have a microphone I can give. Increase the. Okay, yeah. Take a microphone, yeah. Sure. Okay. I'm going to have to leave everything as is. So, okay. All right, so 30 seconds, and we're going to take this up, and I will explain to those online what's happening because the camera will have to stay where it is. Good, Tanisha. Introduce ourselves, let them know. Yeah, good. So you can explain as well in outline format too what you want to write about. Introduce, let them know how we learned about him in the class. What? Fine, that works too. We just want to get the ideas flowing for this letter. And great. So We're going to stay please at your stations, and we're going to take this up, begin the take up, and we have about 7 minutes left. And I just want to explain how we're sort of laid out here is for everyone online. I can't move the camera from here. So the students are all at their stations right now or at their pods, and you're going to hear them, but you won't see them. All right. I want to make sure they can work from what they've written. So who has a microphone? You have a microphone? Gurpreet. Thank you. Gurpreet. Okay, so Gurpreet's going to start, or anyone in your team. Okay, anyone in your team. Could you please read out loud? And so Gurpreet is over here right now at the pods, and you will hear his voice, and he's reading from what he's done. Please go ahead. Okay. Is that on? Just one. Is it on? Yep. Go ahead. Let's see. It should be. Is it on? Yeah. Go ahead.
Dear David,
Great.
we are the students of the global classroom. We want to invite you in the class and tell us about your program with the Vancouver Food
Yes.
Bank. Our class looks at the qualities of global leaders, and we believe your qualities are what we would like to learn more about. We want to briefly explore your leadership qualities as we are the student of global leader classroom. What specific qualities?
Nice. Go on. Finish it up. Yeah. Alex.
Motivate you to do such great things.
Great.
Your
Good. It's a start. It's a start. Excellent. Thank you very much. Let's go over next to Kinza and the team there with Isaiah, Aaron, and Yubraj. And just read out loud what you have, and we're going to be able to do that with all the teams, and then we're going to conclude. Go ahead.
Thank you. So we thought that like writing a letter would be like so long and like you know what I mean, just writing out. But we have like our points about how we would do it.
Sure.
First, you know, like we would do like a Dear David, and
Yep.
then we'd go into introducing ourselves and like as a class almost.
Yep.
Who we are, like we are Durham College students. We are in a global classroom, no, global leader class.
Yep.
We are learning about like what we're learning about.
Good.
And
Yeah.
two, we could go into the second point. We go into his work, acknowledge his work and go show him that we know a bit about him.
Exactly. What he's doing. Yeah. Your homework. This is the homework
And
paragraph.
to add
Sure.
to that, we would write what we admire about him, what we like
Yes.
he's doing in his work.
Focus on the positive. That's nice. Absolutely.
And third point would be make an offer for him to join our class if he's open to the idea. We would love to learn from him and what we want to learn, how it would benefit us, and like maybe how it could also benefit him.
Yes.
And, like he could see, give him an opportunity to talk about his work as well. And then maybe not this one, but number 4 we could go into, and then we like thank you, would love to hear back, and then we'd also give him our details and also request that if he's open to the idea that he could contact us.
Yep.
Like give him your email or something.
Yep.
And then end it off with sincerely Durham College Global Leader
Great.
students.
Yeah, it's a start. It's a start. It's great. I mean,
It's more of
we're
like an
inviting
outline.
him.
Yes.
What's that?
This is more of like an outline. And
Oh
then
yeah, absolutely. It's just the beginning, okay? The writing, I've always will say again and again, should be fun. It's a process of iteration, revising. You just got to get stuff down and work with it. It doesn't have to be perfect, just because you're going to be revising and revising. Really good writing is rewriting, okay? Excellent. Okay, let's go over to Amir. We've got about 3 minutes left, and then we're going to finally come to Afoma and Calvin. Go ahead. All right, take the microphone from Aaron's got the mic, and then we're going to conclude with the online group. We will save that for next week. Okay, keep going, Amir.
Okay, so we start as it should be like formal as possible because we don't know him as a like face-to-face person. So, dear David Long, I hope you have a good day. So, in our lecture about global leaders on February 5th, we learned about your achievements in the field of food recycling.
Yes.
And how to provide it to everyone in a way similar to stores that we have like Walmart and Costco. Then thank you for helping the world. Thanks.
Ooh, helping the
It's
world. Thanks
it
for
should
helping the
like
world.
for me the letter should be like as simple as possible. We should like have one or like from 2 to 3 points that we know him and we know what he did.
Yes.
So if we try to do like more, it will be like for me, if I have a long letter from someone I didn't know, it's like an invite. It will be annoying. Like I don't like it's
Interesting you mentioned this. Well, we'll leave this to the next class, which is the question of how long should this letter be?
but like formal, but not formal. Like I can't say dear or hi, hello. No, like you can't say dear because you can say greeting. But as saying greeting, it will be like we are a company, but we are not a company. We are a student in Durham College.
I am going to make a case next class when we review of how you might be wrong. You just might be wrong, and I'll try and explain it a little bit later. And I will show you an example of a letter a student wrote many years ago on his own and got a great guest. A great guest. Okay, so you are not the first ones, by the way, who have done this. We have invited guests before through students, and we succeeded. But there's a little art in how to write this letter, and short, like really short, is not the right way to do it. It's a question of how long. Okay, that's what we'll talk about. Finally, let's do a form of Calvin, and then we're going to conclude. We'll do the rest next week. Go ahead.
All right, so we started writing a letter, as you can see on the board. So I'll just read that.
Yep, go ahead, Calvin.
Dear David, our professor Lon Appleby taught us that a global leader is someone who serves their local community first. As a prime example of such a leader, we explored the impact of the work you're doing as the CEO of the Greater Vancouver Food Bank by ensuring it distributes only healthy food in a welcoming space. This impact has touched us here in Oshawa, and we would love to invite you as a guest speaker in our Global Leader class at Durham College. We believe that hearing directly from you about the work you're doing will inspire the students to work towards a future with well-distributed and refrigerated food. We look forward to hearing back from you. Sincerely.
Ooh. And guess what this elicited? Yeah, exactly. Amir is writing too long. Oh boy, we got to do a little teaching and get Amir's mind opened to something, because that is not bad. That's not, but still not there. But we're on our way. We're on our way. Okay. So everybody, you have a discussion post, a fourth one due, of course, before next week's class. You've got the second reflection due the 18th. I'm busy marking. You will have received marks, some of you already. Does anybody have anything they want to say before I let you go? But we're on our way with some vital skills, a great guest. We're going to get him for our final class. That's the goal. Okay. Our final. Yeah. Yeah. Can we do it next week? Or do you want to go on? We're getting into on Panama. We're getting into Trump in the U.S. again. Oh, I don't know what the latest is. What have they conceded? Wow. Okay. Well, here's I don't think I can stomach one more night of news where all I see is is one man sitting at a desk with his making signature after signature, and the world's media is around him. This is the United States. This is a country of Democrats, not of one single emperor sitting there and making one, or I don't care how successful he is. I think this is dangerous for the world, but that's my view. Okay. We should do a class on how fragile democracy is, but I don't want to. That's so depressing. I don't know how to teach that because he's under the sun tanning thing, and his hair is a new thing he bought at Walmart. He just stick it on his head at night or in the morning. That's Donald Trump. Yeah,
Lon,
see you. Thanks, guys. Okay,
Lon,
great. All right, so everybody, thank you for your David and Liam. Good. I'm going to save that right now, and we're going to review this. I'll let you all go. We're done
Lon,
online. Jay, Liam, Sean, and Tanisha. Anything you want to ask me before I sign out here?
Lon,
No,
can you
it's
hear
fine.
me?
See ya.
Yeah, for the
Bye.
Cosmos. I'm going to turn my microphone off and talk.
Lon, can you hear me?
Okay, see you next week. Oh. Just a sec. Yeah. Just a sec. I just gotta take this. Okay. Okay, great. Okay,